Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with episode 41 of Talks Machina. If you notice, some things are a little different. We have the new monitors. If you were in the live stream, that was the first use of the new monitors. I don't think I even recorded a single video. I think I went right into the live stream with the new setup. So some of it is still on a trial run basis. Right now, I feel like I got everything pretty good. I've learned the hard way that if you film in 4K, the renders and the editing are so much more laggy. Right now, I think I have it in a nice middle ground where it's still really high res and the colors are good. Everything is zoomed in. Like the Talks Machina thing, I feel like looks like zoomed in leather. You couldn't really see it as well. I feel like maybe I'm crazy. You guys let me know. And give me any tips if you think there's something I should do. But besides that, A Pirate's Life for me. We just finished it last night. We are in Pirate Land, the pirate island of not Tortuga, but that is what it was in Pirates of the Caribbean. We met the Plank King, gave him a huge amount of coin because that is what we have to do, being as we are pirates. And this dude runs shit. He has taken the place of the former dude. Caleb, Bo, don't trust Avantika. I understand where they're coming from. But I still am leaning towards, is it that Avantika would do something to us? Or does Avantika need us to be one of the three? Or is it also like, all right, we got the three, and once you unleash the Kraken, the other two you kill because you don't want to have to fight for leadership or something? It could be any of the things I just said or was leading to. Either way, we got Talks Machina. I already saw. It is Taliesin and Liam, and Danny Carr is hosting because she said Brian had something very important to do. So we're jumping in. You see the card. Let's just go. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons added, what you're seeing. Hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode. We are back to the normal way we do things. Part 1 and 2 will be Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday will be the Patreon hour. Then we'll be done with episode 42. And then we have episode 43 next week. We're going to finish episode 42 in this week's live stream. And then we'll finish episode 43 on Friday and Saturday. One episode in 2 days. And then we're going to do Merry Christmas. Patreon link at the end. If not, episode 41, Talks Machina. I feel like everything looks way better, but you guys let me know. The live stream was really smooth, but apparently I can crank shit for the live stream because I'm not.
So we're going to start this off with some crit roll stats from our friends at Crit Roll Stats. Did it work?
Yes. It worked. Hey! You're a magician.
CritRollStats.com. Yeah, that one.
Danny.
You did it. Okay. I did it right. Nobody told Brian.
I'd just like to point out that there has not been a single parole reference this entire episode so far.
We're 10 minutes in.
Yeah,
9 minutes in.
Okay,
Just you wait.
Usually takes a minute.
A parole reference.
I'm not Brian. And I am not on parole.
He is tonight. He is his parole officer's date to the policeman's ball tonight.
We all just start making up things for
like,
what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think that sounds pretty magical.
I
mean,
don't
that
recall
one was
that.
true, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, they came in with 2 giant.
I recall many things Brian does.
He just was. It was
I
like
mean, he does talk about how he led
in like black and white stripes and like you know.
Yeah, he's talked many times about how he's led a life of crime. And he's grown since then.
Caleb cast his 100th alarm spell this episode.
I guess that's what they're referring to.
Pretty cool. You've been protecting the party 100 times.
He does it every day.
Look at that.
Every day that has existed, whether we did it or not in game, he does it.
This is the 100th time you've said, I'm going to take my silver thread and I'm going to put it around the room and I'm going to cast alarm.
Time in front of the fourth wall.
That's right.
Caduceus has healed other people for 328 damage since he appeared in episode 28.
320 too many. It's fair.
That's a lot of healing.
Kidding.
For
wow.
Going on 14 episodes.
I was giving them 8. I felt 8 was respectable.
8 was fine.
If you think about it.
Calm down, Jester.
It is actually shocking to me how
Sorry,
long
Jess is a
we've
really
already
good
had
cleric, and I think that
Caduceus.
she
We've
does a
had
really good
Caduceus
job. I
for
love you, Laura.
almost 4 months.
Sometimes you got to be Mercy, except with a gun.
I play clerics a lot, and that's why I love
God
clerics, is
dang it.
because there's so many different ways
I
that
gotta
you
stop
can
smoking.
make a
I'm
cleric
literally
to
like
be
hacking
your
like I'm
own
a
style.
dying old
Different ways
man.
you cannot heal the party. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna die tonight.
Do we know how many
that note, let's smoke.
points of damage Jester has healed in the party?
I'm sure Crit Roll Stats does, but
Focus
it is
up.
My
not
dentist
on
was
my
like, you
it's
should
not on my
start
doc
edibles.
right now. They
Focus
can
up.
message us later.
He's probably right.
And the last one, Caleb has the highest Nat 20 rate, 6.6% for a current Mighty Nein member, but Molly had a rate of 7%.
Oh, that's pretty good, but he's dead.
He is dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Still the record to beat, though.
Yeah.
Get good.
Someday.
One
I
day.
love it.
One day you'll get there.
Someday.
Well, one day we'll all be as cool as Molly Mock.
No.
Caleb has the
What I
highest
tell
Nat
myself, and I
20
never call
roll
myself
rate.
sleep.
Effortlessly glamorous.
Except Molly had a higher one, but Molly's dead. I
Okay,
love
so
how
our
Caleb
first question
rubs it in. But hey,
comes to
he's
us
right.
from Siegebreaker.
Some good your stats or you're
Liam
dead.
and Taliesin.
Yes.
Who do you think actually won the rap battle between Molly Mock and Caleb?
Oh.
Would either of them have an actual interest in spitting rhymes?
I mean, I think we all won.
I was going to say, I feel like the world won with that.
World won.
We watched that twice, and we in fact figured out how to throw cast to the television.
On a
We
big
were so
TV,
excited.
so we could see it proper. I love every sick
What?
burn stuck to Caleb.
Oh man,
Is that a
that's
real
good
thing?
one.
So good, yeah.
Who did a rap?
Yeah. Oh God.
I still think my favorite line was, I'm saving counterspell for your next resurrection. I may have lost it a little bit.
I feel like
That was
people have
pretty
talked
good.
about
That was a
this,
solid burn.
but I
Also, like,
don't.
not saying how can they.
I know
find
what
more
rap
when they don't
battles
know where
are.
I am.
Did they do one, or was it a thing they did mimicking
Yeah,
rap battles?
Straight
Because
up,
rap
that
battles
video
is pretty popular.
is amazing. I've
so
watched it 10
fantastic.
times.
I'll
you
post
guys.
it on the Talks Machina socials later. I can't do it right now. I guess I could, but that would derail things.
I'm
not
looking
gonna
it
do
up.
that, so I'll post it later.
We're looking it up right now, so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Would
I'm
either of them have
listening
an
to
interest
Danny.
in spitting rhymes and rapping?
I think Molly would be entertained by it.
Battle?
Spitting
Molly.
rhymes, I think he would treat it like the layers of a spell. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So this
Ultimate rap
what you're
battle,
saying is
Molly
this rap
Mock.
battle is canon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
1.2 million views.
Without a doubt.
That's all I wanted.
Not in front of the fourth wall, but there was one day.
I just want to see if it's like
So our second
spoilers.
question, I forgot the word for question.
Yeah, it's someone else made
really
it,
good
I
job, Danny.
think.
You're killing it.
Yeah, it's not official rap battle. Okay, it's not like
I'm just gonna
official
laugh through
rap
the whole
battles.
thing, it'll be fine.
It still looks
Comes
really well
from
done.
Carno Lesbian.
I just was like, holy crap!
Liam.
Well, I'm like, because it's
I know,
very
that's the one
rare
that
I
Ryan
see
always
rap
mispronounces,
battles.
but I actually know how to say
begin
it.
with.
So congratulations, Carno Lesbian. You get to actually pronounce properly.
I don't understand what it means though.
Was
Carnote
giving Periapt
lesbian.
to Caduceus purely
is
for
that what she's saying?
reasons,
Carnote
or was there also
lesbian?
a meta full circle consideration
understand.
of getting the item back to Taliesin?
Oh, sprinkle of both, probably.
What is a Carnote?
But the game that Caduceus
Or
got
is it
spit out of the
Carno?
water pimple.
Carnote?
I look at my spells a lot in this game,
I
and
still
I'm
don't get
thinking
it.
about what
I'm
I
with
could do a
Brian.
minute later, so I miss things a lot. And I had no idea that the character was unconscious when it got shot out. So my in-character decision was, I can do this many people, and that's the new guy. So I mean, you must have been like, what the fuck are you doing in that moment?
Of like, really? This is how it's going. This is how I die.
I just assumed you were gonna fall down and take 10 points of damage. But in character, and I mean, like, you know, in the moment they were getting spit out of the top of the temple. He wouldn't have known who was conscious and who wasn't.
No.
But
It worked out.
it worked out. Caleb is always way the fuck far
I like
away.
Taliesin's shirt. What is
I'll
it?
be fine.
Something
We'll
in the-
die. It just makes more sense as
what these
a
shirts
game player for this cleric who heals people to be the guy who's up.
I really do try and keep a really good arsenal of spells for that, and also he's really good at getting people back up, which is even better. Like if someone goes down, it's one of those great things where if someone does like hit the ground and down, I can spend a level 3, level 4 spell and get them almost back to normal.
Yeah.
Also, in
Great
character, this guy has gotten fucking raked over
He's
the
had some really
coals.
bad days.
Yeah, over and over again.
I'm
He
the wet
has.
tissue. I'm the one who should
I
be
can
down
recall
and
at
down and down.
least
Was it
2 or
like one
3
of those
times
things where where
Caduceus
somebody
is
like just
taking
keeps
a
getting hurt and you're
beating.
just like that's
He's
my
drowning.
job. What are you doing? Give me my job back.
There wasn't time in game, but like in the meta text of the game, I
Like,
imagine that he's been
always,
taking
like,
some time on the ship
completely
and like actually like jumping into the ocean.
unintentionally,
Going, no, I'm
obviously.
getting
Not
used
that
to
anyone
this.
intentionally
I'm
gets
fucking
hurt.
going like, I gotta like,
But
I'm
he's
not
just
gonna be
always
weird
in the
about this
wrong
and like
place
actually like
or something.
swimming and like getting comfy again. So back on the horse.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, no.
That's such a great little character thing.
It's just another aspect of nature, and it is also filled with wonderful life. And he has.
I wanna
he's
know
like, it's all
where
designed
Brian
to kill you,
actually
so
is.
that's not the problem.
Is he?
He's so great.
Actually, with his parole
He's
officer.
wonderful.
Yeah. There we are. Such an easy voice to do too. That's nice.
It definitely says Banshees. Cassie? Is
Really
it Cassie and the Banshees?
4-hour session.
It's got to be
Hermit
some
of Kashmir
old
wants to
sci-fi
know,
or horror movie.
Taliesin, how did it feel to receive Molly's stabilizing necklace again? What did Caduceus think about Caleb giving it to him?
Oh, what did I think were the Caduceus? I thought, thank fucking God, it was about time.
I spent my money on that.
How did it feel to receive Molly's
Yeah.
stabilizing necklace
Really
again?
need it back, man. Thank you for not burying it with me.
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole thing is you.
It wasn't even a random thing you found.
I
You
remember
worked
people were
towards
like bury
purchasing
him with
it.
the
I
stuff.
bought it with
that
my money.
is-
It was pretty.
my
and I
thing
bought
is
it.
somebody's gonna dig it up
yeah,
and find it or something. It's not like
I mean, like,
might as well keep it,
Caduceus
right?
definitely thought it was really sweet and sees its practical. He's very big into the practicality of an object, and was very pleased that something so useful exists in life, and that someone would think to push forward something so
Right.
useful. He's becoming very endeared to these people, although he actually likes everybody quite a bit.
I want
Nice.
Taliesin to
So-
be like,
Glad that he's
Caduceus
fond
is
of
going
this-
off on
of
his
this
own.
band of
And
merrymakers.
while we're
Yeah.
having these crazy adventures
like,
together,
the list of
Caduceus
people he doesn't like
is
is
just like
very
off
short,
to the
to
side
be
on his
fair.
own little thing.
Ooh, who's on his list of people he doesn't like?
I mean, he's got some sibling issues with one of his siblings. There's some family stuff. That
Ooh,
we'll
Tell me
shit.
later.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I haven't told Matt yet, so he'll murder me because I'm just haven't turned my paper in.
Also, census takers.
Yeah.
I haven't turned my paper in.
But
Like
what's-
Matt's like
I
a
was trying to
teacher.
remember that O brother, the O
So
brother out there, the
Caduceus
kid with
doesn't
the,
get along
you,
with one of his
yeah, I can't remember.
siblings.
It's been a minute since I
Sister?
watched Oh Brother
You
Where
from the
Art Thou.
census? I'm supposed to shoot anybody.
That's
from the
interesting
census.
because
Oh,
Caduceus
yeah.
comes off like someone that
Yeah,
would
no, and
never.
like, occasionally people start trouble in the cemetery.
I mean, I guess
Kinda
something bad happened.
graveyard
Maybe
stuff.
that's why
People
he's
are
got
his-
stuck
are
at
his
the
villains.
cemetery.
Again, he doesn't like lazy
Maybe
people. He
she's
doesn't
the
like.
one that
Yeah, he's got a thing
kinda
about
John
had him
Meddy.
there.
He didn't like John Meddy very much.
No, I mean he was already not inclined, but
There's a
'cause-
question about John Meddy later, but
We'll get there then,
we'll get
alright.
there. So yeah. We're gonna skip this question from Nutella Ice Cream because it's actually about why did Caleb decide to exclude Caduceus from Featherfall, which you answered.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So
New guy.
yeah.
I also didn't know that he was about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just we get
So,
distracted.
I
Wacky Historian
can
wants to
understand
know,
that.
for Taliesin, Caduceus's passive insight has led to some very intriguing moments between him and the other characters. What did he see in Caleb that he thinks is important? Or was he saying that more for Caleb's benefit?
Oh no, he doesn't mince. He thinks. I mean, he sees potential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like any time that you meet somebody who's obviously like, we all have. I mean, God, especially in this town, we all have friends where you're like, oh God, you're just like 1 month of getting your shit together away from being so cool. If you could just get your shit together. Just get your shit together.
Oh my God.
And God, we would rule this town if you just get your shit together. And so he's definitely like,
I love it.
he definitely sees
That's
the
good.
potential of Caleb being a really positive influence in the world if he would just get his shit together.
It's gonna take some time.
Oh, it's going to take some time. He's
I
in
mean,
no rush.
yeah.
But he definitely, and he's with this group because on a weird level, he's under the impression that his goddess told him to.
I really liked that moment though between the two of you guys, where you talked about how this is a test of faith, and it wouldn't be a test if it was easy.
Yeah.
I loved that. I thought that was perfect.
It took him a while to get there.
From Et Capitan Obvious.
Makes sense.
Everyone.
I hear that all the time.
All the time you've known him. Have you ever before seen Travis turn that particular shade of red he became as Jester and Not were discussing Jester's first kiss?
Gosh, that was so good on so many levels.
Yeah.
He's just hiding his face.
Poor
Bailey
Travis.
was on
I mean,
fire last
Man.
week.
She did so good.
She was obviously.
I mean, it's
upset
his
that
fault,
she's
right?
not
Watching
before.
this, she-
nothing that happened
fine.
was
She was really good
something
last week.
he did
So
not
good.
have
I think she
control
was
over.
upset that she missed one. I think she
He had
just saved up an
complete
extra.
control over all those
That was 3
situations.
Came out on
worth of sad.
fire.
So he
Yeah,
deserves
Travis also just kind
Jester.
of shrank a full foot. He turtled in a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think the best part of this
I
campaign
love that Jester is laying
generally
it on.
watching
Like,
Travis
Laura
Swan
is
different
laying
ways.
it
Laura's
on
largely
thick.
responsible for
Yeah.
Like, I've
for that.
never had a kiss
Yeah,
before.
no, Travis
And
is
not
having
is
such a wonderful
even,
experience
like-
with this round. I'm very pleased.
So
Beautiful.
good. I love
Best
it so
thing
much.
ever. Most
Hey, you guys want to
beautiful
give away
first
some
kiss.
free shit?
All the free shit.
God, what do we got?
Yes.
Are we
Giving away
already
free
there?
shit. I've never done this before. Let's
I
do
feel
it.
like we're there really
Our
quick.
first giveaway tonight is honoring your epic gift
Maybe
making
this is a
skills.
shorter one.
It's time for
Because
gift of the
normally we have GIF of the week. 20. Brian, maybe Brian just does it late. We're usually a good 20, 25 minutes in. We're not even
Our winner
15
for
minutes in
campaign
yet.
2, episode 41, was sent in by Amber, lightandmagic.tumblr.com. Let's take a look.
Bring it.
This is your lucky day. When you paint dicks, there will be dicks.
That
I
is
didn't
happening.
think this through. The drawing of the dicks. Dicks everywhere.
Just everywhere. Just dicks everywhere. Yeah, let's do it one more
lucky
time. It's a pretty short one.
Feels like
I should have assumed it would be this.
Critical Role.
That was a great
Role
moment
play.
because the gift of the week is
Dicks.
always one of the better moments as far as people going crazy, physically animated. So it would make sense with the amount of dicks. Then they actually drew
bottom of a
Worth
boat.
becoming pirates.
a dick,
Yeah.
a tiny dick with the paint.
Congrats
You have
to you,
1,000
Amber.
square
you
feet
have
of
won
paint.
this
Ink.
Critical Role Retro Tee. Available at shop.critroll.com.
Yay.
Hey, look at that. It's so pretty. It's super soft. Yay. Moving on. That was fun.
You're killing it. You're killing it.
Yay.
I mean, it is a lot different to be in front of the camera.
Now you made me
I'm
laugh.
in it
Okay.
every day for
Number one. Well done.
forever. 4 years,
Well, this
almost
question
4
is for
years,
you,
sitting
and
in
it's
front
from
of this camera
Empress.
every day.
And they want to know
love it.
what was
I love
going
it.
through Caleb's head during the conversation with Caduceus at the start of the episode. How do Caduceus's thoughts compare to his own ideas of fate and destiny?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I really was trying to prod you for some stuff.
Yes, I know.
We've definitely
Both
had
your
this
characters like to do that in different
Embers.
ways.
We've definitely had them before.
Caleb does not
Embers,
handle it well
Embers,
to have people be
whatever
nice
it
to
is.
him.
We've seen it.
He does not know what to do with it. He doesn't. It should not be coming his way. But still, is like on this tightrope of being like, smile, say thank you, act like you're a human. Okay, we survived that one. On to the next.
It's like when somebody compliments you and you don't know how to like accept the compliment and you're just like,
Yes.
In your head, you're going, no.
20 times a day.
You can't wait
It
to
was
get
like that
away.
with Molly too. Like Molly
How
at one
quickly
point talked
does
about
this
how like
end?
put it all behind you, man. Just look forward. And Caleb just went. Burp, 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 burp,
No,
burp.
everything
compute.
of importance
Yeah.
happened in the past. The future is barren.
There's only the path.
Put it in reverse.
Caduceus is a very kind man. I still have, as Caleb, have this new guy mentality, which is
y'all technically
nuts.
been with Clay longer than y'all were with Molly. The episodes don't line up, but like in-game
Right,
time.
in game. Plus,
Oh.
I've known Taliesin since the mid 2000s.
Because way more
Oh, yeah.
But when
actual
we sit
time
down
has
and
passed in the
campaign,
game.
VHS tape of you. It's
I
like,
am-
We've gone on like huge jumps though.
I still.
There's embarrassing VHS tapes of all
We
of
were
us, let's be
together
honest.
twice as long with Molly. Because Caduceus is about 13, 14 episodes. Molly
Caleb, I think until this
was
last
28
episode
episodes.
has had sort of a
give
new
or
guy
take
wall up
26
Caduceus, and
episodes.
That
20,
thought
I
of that.
can't remember exactly.
But it still did
but
not
it was
take
a
the
lot.
compliment or the whatever
Probably
that was.
almost
I-
twice
I-
as
I-
much
I think
as
I think
Caduceus.
I've thawed almost everybody.
But we've
except
had
maybe,
jumps where we like went
maybe
weeks and
not.
weeks.
I think she's still a little. She's jumpy.
That girl's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that not. I mean, y'all aren't asking for my opinion, but I feel like Not does
we are.
like you. And like, y'all had that really lovely moment together on the boat one night where the two of y'all were talking.
She
and
doesn't
was super
understand me at
emotional.
all,
I
though.
dig Danny
I mean, she
being
doesn't
part of
understand
it.
you, but she
Not
does
that
like
Brian
you.
isn't
Whereas-
good.
whereas
I
like-
love
whereas, like,
Brian.
I think everybody else
But
is
Danny
kind of
is
starting to figure out
very
who's
into
bad.
it.
Right.
So Danny
so
having
excited
like
for more
an
stuff about
outsider's
Caduceus.
Oh man, me too. I got a poor
opinion is kind of cool.
Hey,
Like
there's
this is
another
what I
question for you,
think
Taliesin. Oh,
man.
by watching
It's
and being a
from
super
at
fan.
Arcane Lock. During
But I think
Caduceus' talk
Brian
with
is
Caleb,
too.
there's a lot of questions about this talk.
was a good talk.
It was a really good talk. I liked it. He
did.
said Jester had given him a lot to think about. What sort of things did he take away from that conversation with her, and what's he been thinking about since?
I'll say that he. I mean, like, boy, he's a monastery kid. I mean, so he's kind of been subjected to one
monastery
train of thought
kid.
his entire life. I mean, like, and eventually I'll get into this, and poor Matt, I hate doing this to him before he's had time to think about it, but like, other than disagreements about the nature of who they are and what they should do in the family and like the family history, he doesn't really, he's not really someone, he's someone who's loved the idea of opposing viewpoints on the nature of the world and reality, but has not really had to deal with them at any point. It's very much like the
homeschooled, and now he's in high school.
Is
he's
Taliesin
homeschooled.
wearing
He's in
the same
college
hoodie
now.
as
It's not even high school. It's in college.
Liam,
It's like
just
there's
not
I don't know. I
zipped
feel
up?
like people were a lot meaner in high school than they were in college.
theology and feminist theory. What is happening in my life?
Girls?
Yeah, there's a lot. Dogs, cats,
Yes.
living together.
They are.
Being and nothingness. Have your thesis in
I
next
did not
week.
realize. It's
Kind of
amazing
blown his
how
mind.
different it
And
looks
so was
just by
definitely
opening
like,
your shirt up
it was
and having a
definitely the first
different
time that another
center
cleric kind of
print.
came up with a different
had to be
opinion on the
intentional.
world and a
I
different
think they did it on
viewpoint and
purpose.
kind of
Otherwise, they would have looked like twins. I would have.
He's not really used
They
to
look
thinking in
comfortable.
theological terms about the interconnectedness of people. It's very much his religious beliefs are really all very navel contemplation and very internal, and not about the relationship between people and the world and civilization.
Right.
And now it's just kind of all happening, and he didn't really know how to chew on that. And she in that talk that we had after the second drowning, Lord.
The second drowning.
I think he really she definitely gave him a like way of starting to process that and be like, okay, I'm this nice chill guy who's occasionally going to get into these weird fights and do some weird criminal shit, and this is how and why, and kind of start to have some context for that.
You know, Sunday school is one thing, but then to go out in the world and practice what you've been discussing is a whole other thing.
Right.
No,
It's theory versus action.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's literally coming from I mean, like it's real homeschool to you know, piracy.
To an internship at Google.
Yeah, there's a
To
lot of
actual
ethical issues that just
piracy.
pop up every day.
Here, kid, let's take you on a boat.
On a boat. How was the light?
Maybe
Everything's
not
good,
that.
guys?
She's
What do you
been
guys
very
think?
good. He's been.
I think
and
I
he's
have
got
a-
a good sense of
I'm
humor,
just
and he's
curious,
been
your
leaning into
opinion.
that, too.
Cheers everybody up.
You guys are the
Yes.
first ones
That's one of the best things
to
about
see like a
Jester
full
is that
video.
yeah, that
of
is her
this new
superpower.
setup.
Is the fact that you need sunshine
And dicks.
and dicks.
Sunshine and dicks.
Just dicks everywhere.
Danny gives a big old smile
Okay,
at the camera.
so from oh god.
Rain of dicks. Cast rain of dicks.
Dick Rain. Camera missed the Dick Rain.
Oh
We just went on a little side adventure of
disagree.
getting rained on by
Stoicism.
dicks.
I have that hot dog
Carry
gif
on.
going through my head now.
no. Oh god.
Sorry.
No.
Ah,
Let's save us from all of this.
thank you.
With a question from @bschlosky. That's not
Bishlowski.
There's no saving this.
What is that? Does that just sound inappropriate? Because I don't know what Bishlovsky is.
Yeah.
okay. Mr. Schlosky wants to know from Liam.
Bishlovsky.
Self-preservation has been
It's
vital to
BS,
Caleb
or is it-
in the past.
oh, a B.
So to give him a
Schlosky.
parry after Caduceus felt like a big
The
deal.
S is capitalized.
Loaning Frumpkin to
I was
Bo
gonna
was
say,
also
is it
incredibly
BS
trusting. How have Caleb's
Chalsky?
feelings about the Nine changed, and did anything specific set it off?
He's been a good friend lately, man.
Yeah, you've been real nice.
Well, I feel like we've kind of poked at this a little bit, and it's just it's gotten deeper and intensifying. He does like
Yes, he's being
these people.
Very
I
giving,
think there's
like
still
a friend.
project management.
It is not
wrapped
like
up in
Caleb
it as well.
at all.
Sure.
I
He
mean,
wants to keep the
he's
group
a good dude, though.
cohesive and on track, right? Caduceus has gotten his ass handed to him a couple of times.
I just realized I
Beauregard
never
was down.
looked at
I mean,
the
not
audio, but it looks like it's
physically
good.
or injured,
Everything
but
good?
like she's been sort of
Good.
dragging with things that have been happening. Not wants to, she loves the group and wants everyone to be happy. Like everyone, they need to stay together. I mean, he can. It's fun. It'd be fine, I guess, for Caleb and not to go off. But like, why cultivate a whole new group? Like, I'm talking about the mercenary, the tactical side of him, because he obviously is charmed by many people in this group, likes the people in the group. But it's never just that. It's, he's liking them in spite of himself, and is trying to keep up appearances. And Caleb, you know, at the start of this campaign, I think we're getting him still just crawling out of a cave. But he's had some time to sort of interface with people and
a good
be normal
comparison,
again.
crawling
and
out
when
of
he
a
was
cave,
younger,
when we first met him, especially.
Trained
I feel like
to
we
be
haven't
practical
made fun of him for being
and
dirty.
trained
at all.
also to
Very, like, not for a long time.
This is another thing that I haven't like fully really discussed with Matt, but
Y'all should really talk to Matt more.
Yeah, you guys
like
aren't
this feels
filling
so busy,
Matt in
though.
on your.
he's so busy.
I mean,
so
let's
are
hear
we.
it though, Caleb. Please do tell.
Like he was trained to be friendly. He was trained to be charming. It's not what anybody has
Like a
seen at the
con
beginning
artist.
of this campaign.
He's trained
But
to be
when
a
he was
con
a young
artist.
man, he was, you know, he
like
could
when-
dance with people.
Exactly.
He could,
I was about to actually say that because in
Oh.
Final Fantasy VIII, they do a whole thing where he has to learn how to dance, and it's really great. Anyway,
Like-
it's like a
we all
soldier
remember.
thing. Yeah. You
Oh, okay. Like, all right. I thought they meant like
it's
for
'cause, like,
deceitful
you have
means.
to be able to infiltrate
spies
and
are often charming.
Oh, maybe it is in a
Exactly.
deceitful
This
way.
one's just broken.
Would
but-
you
Either
consider
way,
him,
whether it's used or not, he can
does he consider
use it
himself
for
sentimental?
deceitful ways just by knowing how to do it. But I think
would he describe himself as a
could go
sentimental
both.
person? I feel like I know the answer to whether or not he is. I just don't know if he thinks if he's aware of his sentimentality.
Yeah, he probably sees it as a fault.
he just really like that cat. He just really like his cat.
I mean,
Well,
he's
I mean-
all about sentiment. Everything that he wants to do is about sentiment.
Yeah.
He could go and escape and
very
be a
German.
shoemaker. Yeah.
It's very is sentiment without actually like looking that sentimental about things. Just being very.
just imagining him making like transmutation shoes.
I think it's sentiment that's kept him.
My family was shoemakers in Italy.
transmutators.
My like great grandparents in
really?
Italy were shoemakers. They were cobblers. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I like
Shoemakers.
that factoid. Go shoemakers.
Facts
Danny
and canny.
Carr.
The last thing I was going to say is that I think sentiment has
name- I
probably
think
kept
they did
him
something
alive
else.
because in his time alone,
Her name should be Danny.
the first thoughts were about ending it. And it was just being stuck on getting it back that keeps him going.
Right.
Anyway.
That's beautiful. I like that. At Cootie Patra wants to know for Taliesin,
I
Caduceus
feel
took
like
some
we've seen
initiative in
Cootie Patra
intimidating
before,
and
too.
boarding the merchant ship. Does he not have moral qualms about theft, or does he just see it as a necessary evil given the Nine's current predicament?
Doesn't really. He has some moral qualms about theft, but they're complicated and not theft and ownership and possession is a very civilized thing, and nothing. The notion that things belong to people is a little silly. But with the understanding that you're not supposed to hurt people is
Right.
is a little, or more to the point that you have to be very. There's some give and take in the way that one inflicts damage upon the world, and you have to be very careful about it and very even. But no, I mean, he saw the situation that they were in and was like, well, as long as everyone walks away and can walk away healthy and reasonably happy, everything should be fine. So yeah, we're going to take some things now.
I loved the like, and I'll
I
heal
think
you
it's
guys
odd.
and things like that.
Happy
I
to
thought that was
help.
quite
Yeah.
lovely.
Fair trade. We have things to offer as well.
I loved you using
think that's an interesting point of view.
to announce over to the boat and all that. I thought that was really cool. I loved
it's strange that things could
Caleb's,
belong to people.
Firebolt as well. To
If you
kind
didn't
of
have that,
continue
though,
the
there'd be
intimidation. It was great.
chaos. If people didn't have ownership over things,
I
there'd
thought
be
it
like
was
complete.
brilliant. It made me
Unless
Think of him
everyone
as
was
like a
cool
really
as a
threatening
cucumber,
dark crystal puppet.
there's always bad
always
people,
bad.
and
be
they're
fair,
going
a lot of
to
those
take
puppets
advantage
are
of the
very
situation
Terrifying.
and take everyone's shit.
Movie
Even though
scared
there's
me
no,
when I was a kid.
it's
I was fine with Labyrinth, but Dark Crystal, they were just a little too
In my heart of hearts, one day I want to see Froud draw Caduceus. So
That'd be dope.
yeah.
Into that. At Marvelous Miss C wants to know both. So it's to both of you guys.
That's us.
That's us.
Between this campaign and the last, there have been several characters who have had sailing mentioned as part of their background. How does it feel to actually be trying the seafaring lifestyle in game? Because in the campaign 1, you guys were on a boat, but you guys didn't have to like do things on the boat. You weren't like
I don't know
navigating
if I
or being
know
the
about this.
quartermaster, loading cannons
it's
or
a
anything. Y'all were
spoiler,
there.
Percy and
Yes,
Pike
we're
also both had off-camera
spoiled.
backstory on boats.
Yep.
She's kind of saying it wasn't as
I-
huge
as a
deal.
player,
I mean, if they weren't
person
as fully
As a
involved,
human, I like it. It's
couldn't
really
have been
cool.
as big a
I
deal
thought
as
that at most, like, we'd
what
go
we're
on a
dealing
boat
with
ride
here.
with Ford at some point in this campaign, but I didn't think that we'd have to learn how to.
I think there'd be weeks of
steer the boat.
sailing.
I am totally okay spending
I
spending
didn't
like
honestly
a couple
think that
levels as
either.
pirates.
I thought
or
we'd
at least
be
as
like
seafaring or
maybe an
privateers.
episode or
I don't know
two.
how it's gonna
I
go.
didn't think
Okay,
we'd be pirating.
Caleb, not so much, but I am enjoying.
No,
I'm loving
no,
it though.
Same
Yeah.
with Kadusha's not
We're
so
on
much.
Pirate
but
Island
like,
with the Plank King. What could
leaning
we,
into it.
I mean,
It's interesting
I hope
for
we
you
tap
guys.
into the
I will
Plank
play
King.
it.
Oh yeah.
What do they think about the
I wanna go to
whole?
Barbados.
It's fun to play the either the discomfort being there or the
We're
reasons
about
for wanting to get it,
halfway
like
through.
the conflict. You know, it's all about.
I
what
still
you
feel
butt
like
your
we're
head
going to
up
tap into the Plank King,
Yeah, I haven't figured
Avantika
out how
perhaps.
he's going to lean into being a pirate. Like, what is it that's going to like really get to him and make him excited?
against. It's a real test of faith, the Mighty Nine.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wouldn't be a test if it was easy. I don't know. There were a lot of easy tests. Like I feel like every English test I ever took was easy. Anyway,
Not have my English professor.
Well, you, Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
it's true. I was real bad at math though, like really bad. Anyway, let's distract ourselves from my tests. What the fuck am I doing? At Sad Cypress wants to know.
I mean, basically what Brian W. Foster does every week.
Right.
Just pull words out of your butt.
All out of the butt. It's fine. Liam, does the pirate? Well, we kind of
All
answered
out of
this,
the
but
butt. If you
yeah.
edited up
Does
some
the
of
piratical
her
way of life
quotes
suit
this
Caleb's
episode,
desire to stay
you'd
under
have
the
some
radar of the authorities, or does
hefty,
it feel like tempting fate if they get a reputation as the
memes.
no-kill pirates? That
It's,
should be like a song. No-kill pirates.
you know, there's ups and downs to it. These authorities don't really matter to him. They're not his authorities. It's not his.
It's not Trent
It's right. It's not the empire. There, even if someone were to see him here, the chances of someone knowing him out here, like he feels a lot safer than he has in a long time. That said, he doesn't want to be here forever. Like it's cool. It's a good experience.
nice
He's
little
learning
escape.
things. He
It's
can
like a
hopefully
vacation, a
find
Caleb vacation. I'm going to go.
knowledge that he's not privy to already, and amass wealth that can be used for his purposes, and make this core unit that he's hiding in like a herd of buffalo get stronger as well. But it feels. Well, Caleb almost talked to Bo about it there last Thursday. There just never was a moment. It's starting to feel wrong to be, and again, Liam, I love the boat shit. We could stay for 10 more episodes, but it's starting to feel wrong to Caleb. At first, it was like, oh, this is interesting. Let's go on a trip, and he wants to get back. Conflicting feelings.
Right.
I mean, we are spending a lot of time on someone else.
Trail to the bitter end of whatever
Yeah,
that is, 'cause I feel
we're
like it's
following
gonna-
someone else's
Something
adventure,
bad's gonna happen.
and we don't even
But
know
I'll also say
what
once-
is
once we're
right
out
or
of danger,
wrong
the
or
notion
good
of
or
just,
bad or.
like going more Master and Commander and a little less Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Well,
Muppet Treasure
suit
Island.
Never mind.
Last
I'm just
Weekend at
gonna-
Bernie's, and more. Something that's not as dumb as Weekend at Bernie's.
That's a great movie.
Class of Nukem High. I don't know.
Class of Nukem
No,
High.
or I'm trying to think of a good
Trauma
pirate
film.
movie.
If you don't know it,
Pirates
go
of
check it
Caribbean.
out. There's
Captain Blood.
3 or
Is there a 4? I have no idea.
I think there's a
I
part
don't know.
4.
I've only seen the first one. I liked it, and then none of the other ones like spoke to me, and I'm not a big fan of Johnny Depp, so I was like, I'm good.
There are 4.
Dip burn.
No,
I
there's like
the
5.
really old.
Cutthroat Island.
Cutthroat Island, also great. I love Muppet Treasure
I've never
Island.
seen
Treasure
Cutthroat
Island.
Island.
So good.
I know of it.
Goonies.
Goonies is technically
Goonies?
a pirate movie.
My favorite. There's a poster
I think
hanging
y'all
up in my
basically
room.
Goonies. Because they also are like on a pirate adventure that they didn't actually sign up for, really.
This
I'm
is
trying to think of
time.
another-
Yeah.
What's another good pirate movie?
I'm taking it back.
Dread
I'm taking them
Pirates
all back.
Roberts. We don't
So
see
good.
it, but
Anyway,
in
you guys
Princess
want to give away some more
Bride,
free shit?
he's a
Man.
freaking
'Cause I didn't.
pirate.
It's free.
Got it. Then
We don't see it
Can't
though.
sell
We
it,
just
it's
know
free.
his character.
Nope. Hey,
And we
the
see the
teleprompter
character.
went and did things, and now I can't see what I'm supposed to say. Oh, there it is. Our next giveaway is for you fans that create and send in incredible art from moments during
Fan
Critical
art
Role.
of
It's
the
time for
week.
Fan Art of the Week.
Find out about the week.
All right. The gift of the week was good. I think it was not as.
Why
It's
are you wearing
probably.
a cardigan right now?
It doesn't make the top 10. It wasn't good enough for top 10.
Imagine if we made
It
a
was
critical
good. They're all
cardigan.
good
That would be
in their own ways.
Wow,
But that
you just
it
blew my
wasn't.
mind.
I don't think it was top 10
How
for
would you
me.
print on it?
I
though?
think it
That's
was
No, you
blasphemy.
would
more
you would
plain
sew in a
Jane
little
than
textured
a lot of the
CR
other
logo.
ones. If you're wondering why I'm
Yeah.
scratching, I just shaved my
bead,
neck and
somehow a
I'm
bead or
itching
two.
like a mother
Pull a
effer.
pal.
Knit one, pearl two.
Hi, Casey.
Hey, Casey. Love you, Casey. Okay, this week's fan art winner for Campaign 2, Episode 41, was sent in by Jonathan Jacobs at JennyBits. Let's take a look.
Jenny Bits?
My handle too.
Yeah,
Jenny
that's
Bits.
fun.
Oh.
Dark Toad.
Look at Bo
Oh my
up
God!
on
What is
the
that
rope.
reminding me of? Oh, Pirates of Darkwater? That's got some Pirates of Darkwater vibe.
Sure.
I dig it.
Oh, I'm into it.
Avantika looks so excited.
Avantika,
Right? Like,
Jester hanging off, Bo up on
Jester's super pumped too.
the
I
ropes.
love
I don't know
the
if that's
canopy
something
and
you'd
the-
call.
oh, it's
I'm
so-
not
God,
a
that's a
sailor.
theme
I've
park
said
I
it
wanna go
before.
to.
I love the mist,
Never
too. I
been
love how they
sailing
did
in
the
my
mist.
life.
Jester's
I've
actually thinking
barely
about
been
grabbing
on a
Avantika by
ferry.
the
The only
ankle
time I
and
ever
just
recall
chucking her
being on
across
a
the-
Right, like I can just swing
boat
you
of
over my
any
head.
sort.
I never pictured Ivanka
was
wearing
Disney
the
World
big
when
pirate
you
hat,
take
but
the
now
ferry.
I can't think of anything else
And
after seeing
one
that.
other time I took a ferry,
It's
like
just
New
so
York or something like
fancy.
that.
Thank you to
I
everyone
don't
who
do
submitted.
water. I hate
Congrats
it.
to you, Jonathan. You have won this. Oh, yeah,
I
gotta
always think,
say-
like,
Yeah.
what
I
if
forgot
there is
about
an
that part.
issue?
You have won this
You are stuck.
figured Myrtle
There
Wood
is
Geist Vault.
endless
in new wood currently
depths
available.
of the ocean that
You can
don't,
enter
I
our
just
weekly
don't- I don't-
contest,
I
and
don't
it's so
need to.
pretty.
I don't need
It's
to.
supposed to, like,
Once it's a shiny
Godzilla might
mirror.
come out.
Brian usually
eat
does
us.
something. He pretends to be fascinated by magnets or something like that. It's
That is
cool. He
arcane
like rubs it on
in
himself
nature.
or something.
That is arcane
Here,
in
you can
nature.
rub.
I'm gonna rub.
Rub that wood.
Ooh.
The only thing I think of Avantika
Danny just
wearing
rubbed
is
wood all over her
Ford.
face.
Yeah. Nice.
She has said many, many great
You can
things.
enter our weekly contests by emailing your GIF or fan art to submit@talksmachina.com. Rules for our contests are available at critroll.com. Moving on. Give me that.
Yeah.
Moving on. It's really
Submit.
Where is it?
Submit. There we are.
I'm so many. Okay, I'm gonna put this away now. Business. Okay.
I like how she's handling things. She's got a
From
nice
Jordan Springer
way
for
about her. I
Taliesin.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
we know
Caduceus
Danny,
seems to be the
but as
closest
far
thing
as
the
like
Nine
being
has
the
to a
host,
moral
it's a lot
compass.
different.
How does he feel
I
now
think
that
she's
the group is
handling it
becoming
quite well.
closely associated with
Maybe she
pirates,
does it.
even
I
with
don't
it
know.
being a
Maybe
way to
she's
make sure that
trained.
Ukatoa isn't awakened?
Ends, means.
I
you
should have
know,
definitely
Justify.
took a shower after I shaved
Yeah,
my
again,
neck.
like this is problems between civilized people, which is not really his domain of morality. Yeah, he's. I mean, like he's. I don't want to say he's nervous because he's not nervous, but he is paying attention. And
really is. That
and
passive
is going to.
perception.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be like keeping everybody. in
wouldn't be
check to like,
surprised.
okay, we're bad, but we're
if at some point they're all like,
we're not a
Ford,
problem.
we're
lovable
out,
scamps.
and we just
Yeah, let's
split.
just-
but I
let's
also
make sure
feel like
everybody's
everyone
having a
wants
good
to.
time. As long as
come up
everybody
with
can
some
walk
sort
away
of
being like, that was
conclusion to
kind of
this
fun. I
whole thing.
survived. I lost half
Like,
my
if we
stuff,
leave, we'll
but
never know.
everything's okay.
For
I got
at least a
healed.
while.
Yeah.
All right, got a tattoo.
Tight, tight.
Keep it a cheeky and not go beyond that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just gonna try and
Feel
keep
really
everybody
bad.
on the right page.
For really bad for that poor guy, Liab, who got
Yeah.
that tattoo.
That's a
So sad. Feel bad for that guy.
someone who was once almost tattooed against their will. I definitely had some.
Oh, no.
I had some bad like.
Oh,
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Oh,
Oh.
flashbacks. Oh no.
Don't get drunk in
Liam.
a tattoo
Yeah,
parlor.
huh?
Oh gosh.
Moving on.
Beautiful business boy wants to know,
a
Caleb gave
little
Jester the
interesting.
magical paints with a little hesitation. Does he worry about what she'll do, or does he think she'll use the paints for mainly good or benign uses?
Oh
Does he
no!
care?
I mean, he knows he's
I'm-
gonna get pranked so.
Yeah, I
hard
just
with
hope
those
that most of
paints.
it is used for
Yeah,
good.
but he has a soft
usefulness.
spot for her against his better judgment.
Beautiful business
she
boy.
Has,
I feel like we've seen that before.
she makes
I had
him
a
laugh.
friend
I mean,
named
like he thought
B3.
that he was like just a total black hole
His name was
of misery.
B3, Big
and
Burly
this,
Brian.
and Not doesn't
He was
even
a
do that, right?
giant
Like
man.
Not is just his
Like
his
400
hobo
pound,
buddy
6'5"
for like
monster.
cuddling for cold in the freezing night in the woods.
She is a
like
hobo.
survival.
I've seen him
Sure
like
she
lift
is.
dudes
I
up with
can.
one hand,
She is
But
a giant.
like by their
Jester,
neck.
like I
Guys
think
like
in
my
his mind,
size,
he's
and
like,
I'm like
well,
almost
there
200
is no
pounds.
joy in my life. I'm just supposed to be miserable forever, and he picks people to reinforce that. But Jester kind of like Aikido, just sort of disarms and gets in. So he's still like keeping her at arm's length to a certain degree, but she makes him laugh. So.
She's a
I love that.
master
I think
of
still one of my
Aikido
absolute
of weirdness
favorite moments
and
that there's
chaos.
been in the campaign was the two of you guys waltzing. That was
Yeah, I'm fond of that.
so good. There's lots of really beautiful art from that moment too.
Yeah.
Can I have Brian Foster's creepy head for a
Absolutely.
second?
Everyone can.
Thank
Can you
you.
also please move Key Bear? You're like suffocating
Am I suffocating
her.
Key Bear?
Yes.
Oh,
Is
so
Is
great.
that
Making me
what that
very
is? I'm not
uncomfortable.
even kidding you. I thought that was some sort of satchel.
And not,
it was sticking slightly
here,
out of
here.
Taliesin the entire time.
Snuggles.
And part of me was like, what is
Not
that?
here.
And then I thought, does he have
And
some
you
sort
can
of
swipe it?
like
right
satchel
up
or
there.
And he's
man
here.
purse?
Oh.
It was the ass
That's what
of
you
the
get for not
bear.
being here.
That's
True.
very
It's
fair.
better now. It's better now without
I
you.
gotta look into those pillows. I totally
This is
forgot.
the show it always could be.
You guys know my
What
horrible
do you have to say
memory.
about that?
I feel like that would be an
Brian.
awesome
Stonewalling
gift
again.
for somebody.
Fine, be that way.
Come on, Brian. I
Don't
gave
just
you
That
a
is
glare
such.
at
floor
us.
here.
That looks like Brian just graduated
Pillow
from
talk
law
is
school.
coming-
That's what that
coming,
picture looks like.
Oh, technically, he does at least now resemble the appropriate host for Between the Sheets.
Anyway, so let's distract ourselves from Brian's just general self with at Miss Sunflower 94, who has a question for Taliesin. How does Caduceus feel about Ford's bad decisions affecting the group dynamic? What makes him think it was a bad decision to begin with? Just some light stupping? Ain't no thing?
It was
Like Stippen?
politically inconvenient stupping.
Ooh, inconvenient.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't want to get too far into Clay's feelings about sex and intimacy because we're not there yet. But definitely, he's
I didn't know that he
aware of
was
the
that-
friction that's going to create with Jester. He's also aware that this woman is
Batshit crazy.
batshit fucking crazy
And as the old
unbelievably
saying goes,
dangerous.
Or is it
you
maybe
don't
just
put your
that?
dick in crazy.
You don't put no, and like you
Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. This is I'm Big Brian's job. He would say way
It's
worse
been
things
nothing
than
but
don't put
dicks
your dick
for
in
this
crazy.
entire episode. So. Yeah, and like definitely, like you don't
Don't put your dick in crazy. I've heard that term many
we're
times.
We're already walking a very,
Not
very close.
recently, though.
Like,
I remember at the
difficult
bar,
line.
Right.
we used to use that term all
And
the time. Or
Yeah,
phrase.
that's that was an interesting decision he made there, as opposed to
Happens when you think with your dick.
DPP.
yeah.
DPP.
So and I will also say that
DPD.
Clay is a little judgmental. He's a little
Oh, yeah.
he's a bit of a judgmental mother
I mean,
barber.
that seems
Comes
clear.
with the homeschooling.
Yeah, most home. Wait, I shouldn't say that. That's me.
No, my brother's home. No, a little brother who's possibly watching.
Oh, hi, little brother. Also, hi to I think my mom's watching. Hi, mom.
Hi, Danny, mom.
Was your mom homeschooled?
Okay, at
Hi,
Seducious
Danny's
Clay.
mom. Did we
Oh,
meet? I
wow.
feel like, yeah, we met Danny's mom.
I love it so much. Hi, Seducious Clay. You're
Seduce
great.
us, Clay.
You seemed
That's
unsettled by the
very
conversation
good.
between Jester
I
and the
don't know if
Traveler,
I've seen that
especially
before.
with
I don't
talk of
think I
her
have,
meeting
'cause I
her
wouldn't
brethren
remember.
in less than a year.
Seduce
Are you
us,
worried for
Clay.
Jester and what this might entail? Obviously, you guys didn't actually hear
You're
this.
asking Taliesin and Liam.
Yeah, I'm asking Taliesin and
That is
Liam.
genius.
I'm
I
waiting
think
for
that
her
is
story to
one
turn
of my
unbelievably
favorite.
dark.
Oh my God, me
Very
too.
nice.
I mean, I think it just did. That was creepy as fuck, that conversation. Yeah, that was not, haha, let's pull some pranks. Want to paint
I
something? That was, join my cause.
sang
And
because I thought I turned the mic
I
off
have
when I hit
thoughts
the
that
thing.
I definitely don't want to share my theories just because my theories are that's too close to the source. But I definitely have theories on what's happening there, and it makes me nervous.
Well, our next question from Barbara Octaviani is, what are your theories on the Traveler?
Yeah.
Who he is, what he's up to, how Jester plays into his plans.
I don't know. He's taking advantage of her somehow, but
Where he is, who he's with, what he's
Who he
thinking
is.
about,
I
if he's
have
thinking about
so
us, and
many
whether or not he'll
thoughts.
ever return.
So many thoughts on who the Traveler is.
I'm
and I don't
curious
wanna
on
say
what
them because I
Taliesin's
feel like they're too inside
theories
baseball.
are.
I feel like we are too inside baseball.
I know,
for
I would
actual-
much rather, I mean, I feel like I've tweeted about it.
I
before
told you
because
my
I'm the worst.
theories.
But,
I think
but
the Traveler is
I have my
real,
thoughts. I have my theories.
that
I know
Jester
you guys
could
do, but I
possibly
almost
be
don't want to say too
imagining
much
things or
because if it ends up being
crazy.
right, I feel like they're going to be like, oh, well, those weren't theories. Matt just told them or something
Because
like that.
they-
it's a real coin flip.
There
though.
is
Who's
things
more
that have
dangerous,
happened that prove the
Ukatoa or
Traveler is
Traveler?
real,
Traveler.
but not
None
the
of these
form
gods seem
we've
cool,
seen.
man.
I almost feel
my
like
god's cool.
Jester
Your god's fine.
might have.
She's awesome.
I don't
She's
know.
got her shit together.
I've talked about it in the last episode. Though.
Okay, at Lose
That-
Better.
that.
For Liam, Caleb has been notably tight-lipped about his family,
think we
with
got, like,
only a
10
few
minutes
exceptions.
left.
But he seemed open enough to discussing his father with Ford. Was it a means of connecting with him over his story about Vandren, or a gesture of trust? Neither? Both?
Neither. That was obfuscation. That was trying to answer without answering anything that he asked me. And also, like, the audience knows a lot of what went down with Caleb because he told Bo and Not, but both as a player that night back then and as Caleb, it wasn't like, oh, cool, I'm going to talk. Like, I sat there and stewed for an hour, like whether to pull that trigger or not. But Caleb and Liam really wanted to go into that library, and the party at that moment was like, well, we're leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we're leaving. So I was like, my whole point is to get knowledge. And I could justify it to myself with saying, if this goes south on me, I will literally just bamf out of this game. and maybe bring him back later or something, but he could just disappear. He's disappeared before. He could do it again. Go ahead.
You had another character in mind too, like in the back of your head.
I didn't at that moment, but that spooked me, and I do have one now if need be. So telling it to Bo was not easy to do, and really reckless, and like a
I like how they have backup
his.
characters in case their characters die.
So he's not in any rush to tell
Molly
anyone
didn't.
else,
Well,
and he
Taliesin
is, of
didn't.
course, very on alert at all times to see where he's at with Beauregard, and if Bo is going to keep that secret, and he doesn't want it to come out, and if it did in a way that wasn't acceptable, he would go. He'd be gone.
Right.
So it's kind of hard on a boat, but anyway, that's why when Ford asked that, I'm not in a rush to tell anybody anything.
Sorry to keep
Right.
playing with my face. There
I
is
want
like
to jump
something
to
in my eye,
CC7, another
and I
question
think
for
I keep
Liam.
getting it, and then
Caleb
it's like
confessed
it
to
comes
Ford
back,
he's
and I
sure
cry.
Avantika will end up killing him. How does he feel about Ford's immediate and easy acceptance of this fact? Does he find his lack of hesitation to seemingly share Caleb's concern more telling or worrying?
I think that his read on Ford is that Ford is. This is such a dark reference. God, I can't believe I'm going to make this dark reference on the show. When Robert Downey Jr. was in prison and trying to get out, and like he was talking about his drug habit to a judge, he said, "It's like I've got the shotgun in my mouth and I like the taste of the metal." That's what just popped in my head. And like both Caleb and Ford in different ways, they're like, I know what I'm doing is extremely dangerous.
I've heard that before.
And but I'm entranced.
I would not have
with it, and I
remembered
can't
the
let go.
quote
And
off
I
the
think
top of my head, but I remember hearing that.
and he senses that, like, he sees Ford as a thoughtful person, an intelligent person, someone who would do good if he could, but is also pulled towards this.
Bit of an addict.
Yeah, bit of an addict.
Yeah.
And Caleb's an addict with his fantasies of writing things. So he can kind of, and he wouldn't share this with Ford, but he can sympathize in a way that, like, I know that you've got your mouth wrapped around the gunmetal and you like the taste of it, and that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, it's rough, buddy. For Taliesin,
Danny
at
looked
Pendulum
truly
Walk,
affected by that.
what would
It's a very good metaphor.
What would Caduceus have done or said to John if he hadn't gotten
Is that
away so
even-
quickly? I noticed there was a bit of like, oh.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Caduceus doesn't like undead things.
Oh yeah, we never figured out what that was.
No, and definitely it was a mix of, like, this person's definitely giving off the vibe of something that should not exist on planet Earth or planet Exandria. And is making me nervous, and I'm tolerating it because we're in a situation where I kind of have to. But the minute I don't have to tolerate it, I mean, literally the last time I came across something undead, I screamed, panicked, and made a run the other way.
Yeah.
And he was just on a trigger the entire time, watching him, waiting for him to do anything iffy.
I'm
then
surprised
keeping a really
nothing
close eye
ever
on him,
came
like,
of that.
walking
Like,
around
we
the boat.
never
All the time.
tapped in or
and
asked
also
questions. I
even
mean, we
in that maze of, like,
tapped in, but
there's a reason he was paying
briefly,
attention enough
loosely.
to be like, you're not helping. Are you just trying to get everybody killed?
Right.
Is that your plan here? Is that what you're going for? You just want everyone dead? And
Like you?
yeah, like very.
We have.
It was against his better
like
judgment,
maybe
even letting
5
that
minutes left.
thing get away.
I'm
in
shocked
his
if
head.
we don't
He's
talk about the
very
planking.
Not okay with undead.
So curious about that character, and I
Yeah.
have real strong theories and opinions about it that I don't want to say out loud either. I just want to see what happens, and I don't want to pollute, like,
The world.
other people's experiences.
And, and definitely, like, cornering him, interrogating him, and then possibly getting rid of him if necessary may have come up, but the moment was never right, and it was never.
Gone in the dark toe mist.
Yeah, like
I would have liked
another-
to see
an-
that,
an
but
abomination
yeah,
walking
we
the
kind
earth
of just did
vibe.
what we had to
Yeah,
do.
like undead makes
Jamedi
very.
did.
It is the
is
one
it
thing
Ja
that is.
Medi?
Like,
I say
truly
Jamedi,
abhorrent
but
to
it might
the-
be
to the natural
Ja
order of
Medi.
that universe.
Either way,
He's all about nature and undead, not
I
very
dug
natural.
him. He did his job. He
They
did
are-
sit
they
back
are
while we
literally
fought,
an
but I
incursion
get why he
from
did.
a,
Because
like,
if he died,
alternate
we wouldn't have had a
universe
guide
that
to
is
get us through so swiftly.
Neither
It worked out.
nature nor civilization, but this terrible thing that is against both.
It's fascinating to me on so many levels.
Super metal, though.
Yeah.
Super
Super metal.
metal.
Super
Metal as fuck.
Last question.
So we've got, I want to get to one more question for Liam before we get to our last one. At Tabaxi took my girl.
Tabaxi took my girl. I feel like we've seen that before. We've definitely
Liam,
seen a Tabaxi
when Caleb
name.
told Ford to do what you have to, did he have anything specific in mind? How did Caleb interpret Ford and Ford requesting him to right the ship?
Well, their lives are in danger with this woman, and her interest is clear. She flirts with him in front of the group, and our lives are in danger. So, sleeping with somebody out of necessity is not a big whoop. So do that if you have to do that. Who cares? Simple answer.
Nice.
Simple answer.
What about with his request to right the ship? What do you think that Ford was asking him in that moment? Do you have any
In case shit goes bad, take control.
deeper thoughts? Deep thoughts? with
Yeah,
Liam
I
O'Brien?
think that Ford, on some level, there's mutual respect between the two of them. It
I
doesn't
just think
get
it's
said
very
outright.
simple. He mutually
And
respects
he thinks
Caleb.
That, well, they don't agree all the time.
Caleb's more
Motherfucker pulled a sword
authoritative.
to the wizard's throat.
Bo's a little reckless.
That mutual respect makes him think that Caleb could take the reins and get people out, or
I
or
would say
stop
Caleb
something
is
terrible from
the
happening
best
if need be,
suited
if Ford became compromised
to take the
beyond his own
reins.
control. Caleb doesn't necessarily agree with that estimation of him.
I mean, there
We
are
definitely
other
feel that your
people
side
that
of the table are the people who would
could
take
fit
charge.
the
Anybody
spot.
on that
I
side
just
of the
feel like
table are
Caleb
the group
would
of
be
people
my
who would
first
take charge
go-to,
in an
too.
emergency, and our side of the table.
I feel like
would draw
everyone
dicks
else
on
is a
things.
little
Yeah.
too chaotic.
So,
I don't see Caduceus drawing a dick on something.
he could be
Some less
he
than
could get there.
others, but
Persuaded.
not in
Could be
Jester.
persuaded.
Very
He could
chaotic.
at the very least
Caduceus
grow a
is
very,
too
very, very
lackadaisical,
comedic
very good talker, and I like him,
Sit
but a little
there
too
drinking
calm
his
about
hallucinogenic tea
things.
and laughing his ass off.
I feel
while
like
his-
Caleb would
his
make the
two
hard
delinquents ran
decisions.
around.
We are
And Bo might
very
make
close to out
too
of
hard
time,
of
but we have
decisions.
one more question
I feel like Bo
from
might be too rough
Megzilla87.
and aggressive, which isn't a bad move. Bo
For
would be
both,
my next.
Words can't express properly how much your gratitude of fan works means to us as fan creators. From hundreds of fan art pieces to epic rap battles, what's one of the most amazingly surreal
Man.
or heartwarming thing you've seen created by
I
the
like that
community
question.
thus far?
Non-related to the episode,
Well, that's
but
hard to answer. I'll
very
try to
good
think
question.
of a thing or two, but before giving that specific answer, I'll just say that, like, how long has this show been going on? 3.5 years?
I can't. I have
Since
no concept
March of
time.
2015.
Jesus.
oh, so
Right from
over
the
4
beginning, we were
years.
seeing things that
Well, for them.
I couldn't have been.
This is right
anticipated.
around
And if I
while he
name a thing or
talks.
two, anyone who I don't name, please don't feel bad, because there has been like literally it feels like every 2 or 3 days
2019.
we go,
It's right before Christmas.
That's about right.
It's constant.
Right before Christmas, 2019.
And meaningful. And we've loved
So they're
everything
almost into
that
their
we've seen,
5th
from like
year.
the roughest sketch to
March
a
2015,
fully
almost
produced
into
epic
their
rap
5th
battle.
year.
I really this is a bit of a cop out, but it is actually true. So for what it's worth, it was a couple years ago they started doing the gift exchange in the Reddit thread, the critter gift, like that blew my fucking mind, and I was just so blown.
Critter
I really liked
gift
that they were
exchange?
like making stuff for each other was really.
What is it, like a Secret Santa of critters?
It's something that like every fandom I've ever been in, I was hoping would go that direction, but it was one of those.
I've
like,
never heard of
you know,
anything
maybe
like
they'll
that,
build
if
an
it is what
Iron
I'm
Man
thinking.
theme park one day. It was like one of those things where you're like, I hope one day, but like never to see. But like actually seeing this fandom do it was pretty.
I'm gonna check that out.
The
Let me know in
amazing
the
way that this
comments.
community takes care of each other, I think, is one of the most beautiful things in the entire world. It's absolutely incredible. Just the way that they rally behind each
talking about
other
you
whenever
guys.
someone loses their house or loses something important to them, or if someone's going through a hard time, or if someone's going through a great time. Like the way that they're just constantly there for each other, I think is absolutely beautiful and incredible.
And yeah, and the show is,
That was
is definitely
beautiful
like
that you
the
thought it
fandom
was
has
beautiful,
grown,
Dan.
and it is, and we are. I mean, it's hard. I don't know how well they can see what it's like on this end of things, steering the ship. But like, we really try and honor that energy as best as we can.
I'll name one, and it's one of hundreds or thousands at this point. At Sketching Sparrow, Casey, who I love everything she does.
Yeah.
I love everything she does. Sometime after
At
I feel like
Catching
it was
Sparrow? Is that what
It
he
was
said? I'm
after
going
the
to check it
Thordak
out.
fight. She's done a series of
Spoilers
panels.
for campaign 1.
Yeah, spoilers for campaign 1. After the Thordak fight, she did a sort of a
Long
I guess I
conversations
can't
about
check it out.
curating.
yeah.
Danny
this
immediately was
amazing
like,
collection
spoilers
for
for
so long.
if that is, if they do a
At the end
warning
of the day,
like
it's just
that, I'm
incredible to
skipping
see
things.
everything that people create in all of their various aspects, no matter what.
There
it
are
is. The
certain
fact that
things I
it's-
know
the fact
about
that the show is
campaign 1
inspiring,
that
such
I don't
creation
want
is
no
fantastic.
Entire
bomb drop
musicals
like that.
written about the
Exactly.
show,
Oh,
man.
poetry sent in, artwork done,
Burlesque acts.
and burlesque acts, endless writing.
That may be one of my
Cosplay.
favorites.
Cosplay, yeah.
Is the Molly Mock burlesque act.
Teas, soaps.
The Molly
It's,
Muck
it's
burlesque.
overwhelming, and these books here are.
I used to go to a
like
casino
monuments
every other
to-
week in Atlantic
I know
City,
it's one
where they would
aspect
have
of things that
burlesque
fans
shows
send
every
in,
night,
but it is like a
like every
monument
2
to
hours.
Cosplay.
this community. Yeah.
Well, guys,
I never went
that's
to them.
about all the time that
But
we
there
have
was
for
like a
tonight.
stage that went out
did it.
onto the
We did
casino
it.
floor.
You did it.
You did.
And you'd see it, whether you
Thanks.
wanted
Can
to
you
or not.
survive after dark?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's fine.
It's pretty. It's kind of the same
Kind of like
thing.
the same
It's-
thing.
We go to
I
the
think
bathroom.
It's like pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I get to look on Twitter real fast, see how much everybody was like, or whatever.
Please.
Speaking of, stick around for Talks Machina in Darkness. I would like to thank Liam
In
and
Darkness.
Taliesin for joining us tonight. Yay! I would like to also thank Max and Steve and Chris and Zach and everybody, wonderful people who are here making this happen. You're all wonderful and beautiful.
Good luck in the
And-
court systems, Brian.
Yep, you're gonna do great, buddy. You're doing great.
They'll never find your peers. Certainly not 12 of them.
Episode 42 airs this week. Until then, don't forget to love each other. And don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay turned, my friends.
I think Danny Carr did quite well. I wanted to see at the end if she did everything that Brian does. She even said, it's almost Thursday. Stay turned, my friends. She did her whole thing. She even gave little sound effects with the guns firing off. I think Danny Carr did a fantastic job. I only know her from this. For all I know, maybe she hosted something else or hosts another show. I don't think that is the case. She seems more like a behind the scenes production manager, something like that. You guys said she's in track. You guys have told me she's in charge of all the crit roll lore and stuff, but I've never actually seen her more than just like a Danny cam here or there for a minute or two. She's always interacting with Brian, conversating, but it's a way different thing to be the host and the lead. Everything's on you. Make sure your timing's right. Brian is constantly being like, oh, we ran out of time. I got another question. I mean, it seemed like Danny had everything down because she did GIF of the week pretty quick. And then we did fan art of the week. Everything rolled quite well. We are doing it in about an hour's time by the time I'm done with this. We never talked about the Plank King. I am surprised. We talked about Avantika. I said, here's the big things. We're obviously going to talk about sailing. We're going to talk about Avantika. We have Caleb and Caduceus, so we're obviously going to talk about the conversation that they had and probably other conversations. We talked a lot about them questioning Ford's decisions, or not maybe questioning, but what their opinions were of Ford's decision making as far as sleeping with Avantika. We heard from both of them. I wasn't aware that Caduceus had such an opinion of it. The sexual relationship that Avantika and Ford had, Caduceus seemed to have an opinion about. Like for a specific reason, didn't want to get into it. They had a bunch of theories about Gemetti and other things that could be happening in our world. I would have liked to hear them, but they said they were going to kind of like leave that go for now. I understand why. They're saying like, what if no one else thought of it? Or what if people, because they hear Liam's theory, are like, oh my God, that's an awesome theory. And now like everyone's going wild with something that might not even be the case. Or what if it has an effect so much so that it ends up becoming something? I mean, somewhere down the road, Matt can obviously add things or change things up, and maybe it'll like tamper with things. I don't know how or why, but I get why Liam doesn't want to like just throw things in there. He's saying like it could be a thing. I mean, just keep it to yourself kind of thing. I always spit out theories, but I also am not affecting the minds of millions of people because they have millions of views on these videos. Either way, we didn't have Brian. We made a lot of jokes. I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see where we go from here. I'm going to jump into part 1 right now. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest. The Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. We also just started Steven Universe, My Little Pony, Gen 5, Battlestar, Stargate, Fringe, dozens of other shows, Last of Us, and Vox Machina in January. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.